Hey guys, Vibrant here. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 15 favorite anime. Again, these are my top 15 favorite anime, so they're going to be different than, what you would put on your list. I'm also going to be having a top 15 favorite manga, so I'm not going to be doing duplicates. Like if it's on my anime list, it's not going to be on my manga list. If it's on my manga list, it's not going to be on my anime list. So some of the things are like anime, you might be like, oh, where is that? It might be on my manga list. But anyway, let's just hop right into number 15. So at number 15, I have Romantic Killer. This is a one season anime on Netflix. It is so super funny. I talked about this in like my anime you should watch video, so go check that out if you haven't already, but that's my number 15. Number 14, I have One Piece. It's only so low on the list just because some of the arcs are just like harder to get through. So I'm only on Dressrosa right now, which I've been on Dressrosa for like a month, maybe 2 months right now, and I'm just still like in the very beginning. But overall, One Piece is a really great story. It's really funny, it's serious at times, so I really like One Piece. That's why it's in my top 15 anyway. Then number 13, I have Cherry Magic, 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. This one is just so funny. If you guys, I know like BL isn't super popular amongst like a bunch of different people, but if you have never read a BL before, if you've never watched a BL before, watch Cherry Magic. It is the funniest thing ever. It is so sweet. It's not explicit at all, so the romance is just like so sweet. It's such a natural progression. It's about I think Adachi is his name, who has been a virgin. He's 30th birthday. Now he can read people's minds, and there's this very handsome guy in his job, super popular, Kurosawa, and he can read his mind like when he touches him. So Kurosawa is talking about someone that he has a crush on, and little does he know that it is Adachi. So it's like so cute. Kurosawa is just so funny. He's such a freak, but it's just so funny. I just love that one so much. I'm so sad I had to put it at 13, but at least it's in my top 15. Then at number 12, I have The Disastrous Life of Saiki K, another one that is just so funny to me. Unfortunately, I've only watched the first season because the dub is just hits so different. I tried watching the sub for the second season, and it's just not the same. Once you watch the dub, and I've watched the first season like 10 times at this point. Once you watch it, you just can't. It's just not the same. It's not the same. I'm gonna end up doing it eventually, but it is just so funny. It's basically about this guy Saiki who has psychic powers, and he goes out of his way to not get involved with other people or his friends, and he may say that they're not his friends, but they're really his friends. He really cares about them deep down. But all the characters are just so funny. Kaido is my favorite. Dark Reunion. So love Saiki K. It is just such a fun, like, sit back and just have it on type of watch. There's kind of like an overlying plot or whatever, but some of the episodes don't really have to do with each other, and it's like short skits in each episode, but they are just all so funny. Yeah, that's why it's my number 12. So going into number 11, I have Tomo-chan is a Girl, completed at 12 episodes. One season, wraps everything up in the one season. Another cute, funny anime. It's a romance, but it's I think it's a shonen romance. So it's basically Tomo is a girl, and she's very tomboyish. So she met June when they were little, and this whole time June thought that Tomo was a boy until they get to middle school, and Tomo's wearing like a girl's uniform, so she has a skirt on, and he's like, dude, like, why are you wearing a skirt? She's like, what are you talking about? And then that was the very first time that he realized that she was a girl, so that's why it's called Tomo-chan is a Girl. But Tomo has been in love with June, and she's trying to present like more feminine to get him to fall in love with her. But the thing that I love about Tomo-chan is that he doesn't care if she acts feminine, like femininely or whatever. He doesn't care. Like, he likes Tomo for Tomo, and I love how Tomo realizes that she doesn't have to act more feminine to get the guy to like her. So it's super funny. Side characters are all really funny. Carol-chan comes in and stirs some things up. So very great watch if you have not seen that already. Then at number 10, I have to give it to Jujutsu Kaisen. Classic. This is probably going to be in a lot of people's top 10s, top 15s, top 20, whatever the case may be. But I don't really have like too much to say about Jujutsu Kaisen. I definitely love watching it a lot more than I did like rating it. So that's my number 10. So number 9, this one may be controversial only because a lot of people are going to claim that it's not an anime, but I have Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is an anime. It's an anime to me, so it's going to be my number 9.
Hope I made it the way you like
when
it.
I was like little and it was coming on TV, I barely watched like the episodes as they were coming on TV, and obviously they weren't like in order or anything, but my brother was watching it, I watched it, but I ended up watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think 2020, 2019, something like that. And I didn't like it. Like the first episode was maybe because I was falling asleep, but I ended up loving it after that. Such a great show. And yes, it is an anime. Okay. Number 8, I have Frieren. Very beautiful visuals, very beautiful story. Her and Himmel were supposed to be endgame, but it's okay because now Frieren is learning how she could have been more emotional like when he was alive, and now she's like going out of her way to what's the word? Memorialize him or whatever the case may be. Like she's going through all their memories, and she planted the flower. It's just so cute. It's really cute. There's a lot of action in there as well, so it's not just like kind of this boring story. Frieren is a really well written female character, so that's why that's got to be at my number 8. But the visuals and the anime are just like chef's kiss. They're just so good. Then for my number 7, I have Hell's Paradise. I'm very excited for season 2 to come out. Very, very much looking forward to that. I think it was a very unique concept, and anime just did it like really well. That it was animated really well. Each episode felt like a lot was going on, so it wasn't ever boring at times. So that is why that is my number 7. Then my number 6 is going to be Hunter x Hunter. I think I've watched Hunter x Hunter like 3 times all the way through at this point. I really like Hunter x Hunter. I really like the characters in Hunter x Hunter. I think they're all written very, very well. Gon is such a great
Your Highness.
protagonist. A lot of people think that he's like too whiny, but I'm like, dude, he's 12. And I don't really think he's whiny anyway. I've never seen where Gon like cries, except for when he aged like 20 years because he just went all out. But very great protagonist, I think, anyway. He wants to become a hunter to follow his in his dad's footsteps, who like left him with his aunt. So he kind of wants to know like what this world is about, and like is it really so great for why his dad had left him, kind of. So he's like on this journey to get his hunter's license and solve all these things. Chimera Ant arc, unpopular opinion, is my favorite arc. A lot of people think it's too long and for no reason, but that is definitely my favorite arc. So yeah, that is why that's my number 6. Okay, time for my top 5. So at number 5, we have Link Click. I actually just recently watched Link Click. I think I finished it like a month or 2 ago. Obsessed with Link Click. Such a great story. If you have not watched Link Click, what the heck are you doing? I think this is the best anime that has to do with time travel, to be honest. It's basically these 2 boys. One of them can physically go back in time, and then the other boy is the guy's eyes while he is back in time, but they use a photograph to do so. So they get a lot of clients who want them to go back in time, and then they'll be in the client's body in the picture and kind of do things that they wish they could have done, and do things differently. But some stuff goes down, and they're not supposed to change any major events in the past, but of course, how things go, some major events are changed. There is a murderer. There's a lot going on with it. So it's really great. It's really great. Very, very great. If you haven't watched Link Click, please, please, please at least try watching the first 2 episodes. I promise it is very good. And the intros are so good. Both of them slap so hard. I can't remember the third intro, but the two that I remember slap. Then at number 4, we have Mob Psycho 100. I watched Mob a little bit ago when the 3rd season came out. You know, I ended up watching all seasons, you know, that are out, whatever. Animation, insane. So insane. And it was so funny when I first watched Mob. Like, I didn't like it because I thought the characters were really ugly. And I just, like, I don't know, I couldn't get past them being so ugly. But then afterwards, I kept watching it. I was like, this is actually really good. It's really funny. It's really serious at times as well. Mob is a teenage boy, I think, teenager, who has psychic powers, and he is being Reagan is his mentor in a sense, and Reagan says that he has psychic powers, but he really doesn't. So he's a fraud, and he basically gets Mob to solve cases and makes money that way. And there's so much more to it as well, but that's kind of like the basis of the story. And Mob can never get to 100% because if he uses 100% of his power, then he will be in a state of like psychosis basically, and he just goes ham. He goes crazy. So anytime the animation is just so good, those intros also slap. So that is why that is my number 4. So going to my number 3 now, I have Cowboy Bebop. I watched Cowboy Bebop, I think one time, maybe twice, but just even with watching it just that one time, it is automatically at the top. Another just like beautiful story about a bunch of different people coming together, and they are bounty hunters. So another beautiful story, you know, about a different group of people all coming together and doing bounties together. There is, you know, each person, like each side character has their own story and their own reason why they're joining the crew. And I really do like how at the end of the anime, this might be like a little bit of a spoiler, but they're fine with going their separate ways. When I first watched it, I was sad because I was like, you know, it's over. They all kind of are split up. But it is nice and it's refreshing to see like that's just the reality. Sometimes you're not always going to stay with whoever you were going on your journey with. If you need to progress within yourself by yourself, then it's totally fine to remove yourself and just go on your own journey. So it's just so great. It's really great. And I love Faye. Love her. So when you get into her backstory too, her backstory is really sad. So that's my number 3. Now time for my top 2. Now, some of you guys who have watched my videos before, you may know what's in my top 2. But my number 2 has to be Ouran High School Host Club. I literally watch this like over and over and over and over. It's not even funny. The day that they announce a season 2, I will fall out. Like, I'm not even kidding. They're never gonna announce season 2, but if they ever did,
that means we are love interests.
I would fall out. Like, oh my god, it's just it's so funny. And when you realize that it's supposed to be a parody, that's when you can really enjoy it. Like, yeah, it doesn't age well, like in this time, but you know, you got to remember this was the early 2000s, and you know, whatever slang they use, whatever terms they use, that's then. But I love it so much, and nobody can convince me that it's bad. That's peak. Ouran High School Host Club is peak. So that's my number 2. And then my number 1 has to be Apothecary Diaries. I fell in love with Apothecary Diaries like right away. I was very hesitant to get into it because I normally don't do historical animes or, you know, mangas or whatever, but Lex actually convinced me the way that she described it. I was like, you know what, let me give it a try, and I am so glad that I did. So shout out to Lex. This is why it's my number 1. But Apothecary Diaries, Mao Mao, one of the best written female characters. She basically solves mysteries in the palace. There's a little bit of romance on the side between her and Jinchi, and but the romance isn't the main part of the show. So I can like see why some people can't really get into it, because it's not that it's slow, it's very like problem crime solving focused in like certain episodes, and sometimes the way that Mao Mao comes to conclusions, you're like, how the heck did she get there? But it is definitely, that is my top, that is my number one. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get into the rest. I think it probably should be over soon with the second season, but we'll see how much longer we have. I don't even know what episode I'm on. I'm just keeping up and watching it in the dub, so yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so that is my top 15 anime. I will also, like I said, be doing a top 15 favorite manga. Again, this is my list, so if you don't agree with my list, that's fine. You have, your own list, but feel free to comment below. Also, give me your top 5. I don't want you guys to like have a whole like top 15 unless you want to, but give me your top 5 or even like your top 3 favorite anime. I'd love to hear what is on your guys' list. That is it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.